What's up, guys? I'd say good morning, but it's freaking like 12:15 in the afternoon right now, to my detriment. I had a lazy day. I'm not proud of it. I should have gotten up literally 3 hours ago because I woke up around 9:30, but I just stayed in bed. The bad thing about living in the basement of your parents' house. But in any case, today there's nothing special going on. I just figured, you know what? Today would be a good day to vlog even though there's nothing special going on. The whole point of this channel is to kind of build a relationship with the audience, you guys. So I'm just gonna go to the beach. Why the fuck are you going to the beach? You're still unemployed. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not really a beach kind of a guy. I can barely sit still and just do nothing nowadays in general. Not just because I'm unemployed, but because I want to stay busy. But my freaking feet, I don't know if I want to show you this, but yeah, fuck it, I'll show you. So this is my second day back from Costa Rica, and my feet look disgusting. Like, the bug bites that I have are atrocious. So yeah, I'm not going to show you anymore, but I'm going to the beach to get some relief for my feet. I'm going to just literally dunk my feet in, maybe swim a little bit just to make my get the bug bites better. That's literally the only reason why I'm going to the beach today, because I need the relief. Hopefully it's hot out. I literally haven't even gone outside because I'm a total degenerate today. But that's okay. It happens sometimes. So I'm gonna go get my coffee. We're gonna run to the beach, probably spend a couple hours there, and then we'll play it by ear. Maybe I'll have something cool I'll want to talk to you guys about by then. This is an extremely off-the-cuff video, more so than my other ones, but who knows. So let's go. So if you're from Massachusetts, this is the best place you can go for coffee, breakfast sandwiches, whatever. Hi, could I just do a large iced blueberry cobbler? 1 cream, no sugar?
Anything else?
That's all.
Alright, you're all set.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, you too. Fuck, I love coffee. I don't even need to buy coffee because I literally just bought my dad 5 or 6 bags of it from South America. So, but I still like going to buy coffee for some reason. Not because I'm a freaking degenerate Gen Z or millennial, but because buying food or drinks like coffee, I don't know, it just kind of gives me a rush. I don't know. I can't justify it. I literally can't justify it. I just want to do it, so I do it. But in any case, I can't keep my phone on this little mount here for too long because it's going to overheat, and I don't really want to talk while I'm driving like this. So I think I'm going to let you guys hang out until I get to the beach, and I'm going to enjoy this coffee. Maybe it'll be gone. Yeah, I definitely have some stuff I can talk to you guys about today. So I'll see you guys in like 30 minutes. I just got to the beach, and I've been thinking about on the way here the direction that I could take this video. I've been thinking about my struggles with discipline lately, dating, revelations from my recent traveling, being nostalgic because of where I am. So the part of Massachusetts that I'm in is Salisbury Beach, and once upon a time, this was like a spot that I would go with an ex-girlfriend of mine. So there's literally so many different ways that this video could turn out, but I know that I just want to be vulnerable with you guys, but I'm not trying to gather sympathy. I'm just trying to connect. I think the internet is a great tool that we can use to come together and just connect in general. So maybe you'll be able to relate to whatever I'm talking about in the next 5 or 10 minutes, because I'm gonna go to the beach and stick my feet in and soothe those damn bug bites. So yeah, I guess I'll just take you guys along, and you'll get to see some very mid beach views. Salisbury Beach, it's home, but it's not anything to brag about. But
But, you know, I can't complain. A beach is a beach. And the good thing about where I live is that I'm pretty close to all three of the vibes, you know? Like 2 hours north, you got the White Mountains. 30 minutes away, you got Boston. And then 30 minutes to the coast, you got a beach. So, you know, I can't complain. I'm blessed to be where I'm from.
Well, considering it's a Friday, I definitely didn't expect this many people to be here because it's a weekday and everything, but you know, it be that way sometimes. I think this is as close to privacy as I'm gonna get, but it's okay. All right, time to go put my feet in for some much needed relief. Oh my God, it's so much colder than Costa Rica. Oh, but I need this so much. Holy shit. This is it. It is freezing, but this is Salisbury Beach. Holy shit. But I really need this though. It feels good on my my feet. All right, that's enough. I don't want to leave my shit alone for too long. So we're going back to put on some sunscreen. All right. Let me try this angle actually. No, actually, just kidding. Okay. So I got my own little spot here. I'm kind of far away from people, so I don't think people can just hear me as I'm rambling to myself here. But yeah, so I guess I should start by saying this is day 2 being back from Costa Rica. I've been kind of, I don't want to say coping because I was definitely ready to come back after like an expedition or expeditions. I wasn't just in Costa Rica, but after expeditions like the ones I was on, I was definitely ready to come back. I spent all of yesterday applying to new jobs, and I also had a couple interviews that I thought went well overall. I'm still looking for software engineering work. To be honest with you, I'm kind of missing coding lately. I had to do a take-home assignment for an interview last week, and I literally spent 2 days on it. I didn't get the job, but it kind of got me back into the swing of things with coding. So it felt good to literally just bury myself into the assignment for 2 days. And it wasn't anything crazy, but it was still challenging enough. I had to parse some JSON files in C. And yeah, that's something that I would be able to do much faster in Python, obviously. But like, you know, in C it was different. I had to get the right library that would actually freaking compile on my Mac. So that was a pain in the ass. And then once I actually had one, I had to figure out how to use it. Which was challenging, doable, but challenging. So yeah, but in any case, long story short, I kind of miss coding. So I'm hoping to actually have a breakthrough. I'm thinking I will put out the other video that I'm gonna mention, but I made another video on this that you guys should have seen before this one, on how I actually got an offer last week, a week ago from today. And it was for a pretty good company. It was a contract role. It would have been on site, but at this point I really don't give a shit about like working remotely versus going on site. If it's a good company, I'll go on site. If it's good experience, I'll go on site. There's no problems there. So I don't really care. But in any case, I got an offer. I wasn't able to accept it because they weren't gonna let me take some unpaid time off. I know, it's probably not the best move, but you're only young once, and the 2 trips that I have in the pipeline for later in August and then early next year are going to be amazing. So even though like I'm looking forward to those, I am kind of bummed I couldn't take the offer because the offer would have required me to relocate, and that's something that I really wish. Well, not wish. It's something that I really want to do is relocate from my home state. So I'm hoping there's only one company that I would happily stay in Massachusetts for, and I just interviewed with them yesterday. If that falls through for whatever reason, I'm gonna start heavily looking out of state for an offer. So yeah. I kind of feel bad that I didn't get up early today. I should have. There's no excuse for me not to, but I stayed up late, super late. At the time of recording this, like a few days ago, I think it was a few days ago or early last week or whatever it was. No, it was definitely earlier this week. Trump was almost assassinated, and he dodged it literally by the skin of his teeth. And it's kind of surreal because when I had heard the news, I had been cut off from the outside world for like 12 to 24 hours because I had been in Costa Rica. I was, on an expedition, so I only had Wi-Fi periodically. And typically news like that I would hear from social media, but it was my mom who broke it to me. And it was just kind of surreal because that was like the last thing I expected her to tell me when she said, "Did you hear the news?" So, yeah, wild. Wild stuff. It's a wild world. I mean, I feel like it's been unprecedented times like for the last 5 years. So, but yeah, I think the life goes on. I was kind of sort of recently on Anton Daniels' show, and on that show, some of you may have found me through him. And on that show, when we had our discussion, he was telling me that it was super important for me to take accountability for all of my time, like accountability for all of my time outside of like sleeping in the gym, which is advice that isn't new to me, right? Like I was a very heavy consumer of self-improvement type content. People like Hamza, How to Beast, Cole Hastings, etc. Like that period of my life was pretty much heavy in 2022 and last year. Not as much this year. Like I still watch How to Beast because he's a big personal inspiration and I think he's a genuine dude. Some of the other guys are kind of fell off. I think most of them have good intentions, but a lot of them just kind of fell off. So, but in any case, point is, the advice isn't new to me, but it's something that I've still kind of struggled to implement. And I feel kind of bad for like losing my edge with discipline because even outside of that, I've noticed that since I've been done with school, it's been kind of tough for me to just stay disciplined. Like today is the perfect example. I overslept when I totally didn't need to. I didn't like push myself to get up or anything, and now I'm here. Granted, I'm not at the beach to, dick off or anything. I'm my freaking bug bites. I feel like going into the ocean with the salt water will really help them. But that's like literally the only reason why I'm here. I'm not typically a beach guy. But I figure, take advantage while I have the time. Hopefully this will help my bug bites and stuff. I'm gonna go back into the water probably within the next 5 minutes or so. Something else that I think I could talk about with you guys that I haven't really talked to anyone about in real life is my growing, I guess you could call it my growing pull towards religion. When I was growing up, I was raised as a Greek Orthodox Christian. This is completely random, but I was raised as a Greek Orthodox Christian, and I was like a very devout Greek Orthodox Christian. But when I got into high school, I remember my thought process back then. Going into high school, I just realized that I don't want to have to go to church every single week so that I would have a good week, because that's what it felt like at that time. So eventually I just kind of stopped going to church, and eventually I stopped just being religious in general. That doesn't mean I was being a degenerate per se, even though, I did experiment with certain things at that time, but nothing like crazy or too unnormalized at this point in time anyways. But anyway, the point is I haven't been religious in a really long time, but for the first time in a while, like last week I think it was, I actually like prayed and like I spoke it instead of just like praying in my head. Like, I was like alone in the room and I just like prayed to God. And it was kind of surreal because like, I don't know, it felt like he was listening. And it sucks because I don't remember the exact like feeling in the moment, but I just know like it's almost like it was like this. He like answered me, and it was weird. It was weird. I've never really doubted that God existed. Like I've always been a firm believer that whether it be God or like the universe, people will all believe in parallels of the same thing. It's just kind of up to interpretation. For most of my adult life, it's always been me like speaking to the universe, but that last week on that particular day I decided to pray and like address him as God and Jesus and what have you, and it just felt like he like listened to me and answered, and it was weird, but in like a good way weird. So I've been feeling kind of pulled back towards my former religion because I realized that it's important to like, well, for one, I need to really fix my like dating habits and like date more seriously than I have been. I mean, I feel like I have been, but then I don't know, I get kind of weird about it, I feel like, at least in my own head, in terms of like what I'm looking for, my own expectations, and like why I might not feel a certain way and stuff like that. It's like, I'll call it the overthinking rabbit hole. So it's just, religion kind of binds a lot of things together, and I think generally religion gives you a set of morals and rules to live by that are objectively good. A lot of people that I've been friends with in the past and just experienced use the Crusades as an excuse to dodge Christianity and call it like, a bad religion, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, a cult. But I think that's a poor excuse. I would say that if you were to meet your average religious person, whether or not they're like Muslim or Christian or
if you were to meet your average person that's religious, they would be a good person. Just like, and you can feel it. Like I went to church for the first time in April. No, wait. I don't remember when it was, but with it between last year in April and this year in April, I went to church for the first time in my adult life, and I reconnected with some old friends, and they're all just good people. Like people that were like that go to church and shit. They're good people. They're all about community. They're all about like helping out their fellow person and just being good people. And you can just feel it. And there's like nothing wrong with it or anything. But to each his own. I'm not saying to be a Christian or anything. I'm just vouching for people who are Christians as a whole and of other religions as well, because I know some people are like anti-religion. But at the end of the day, if you actually like look at like the Ten Commandments, I can't speak to Islam, but the Ten Commandments, they're objectively good. But in any case, yeah, all right, I'm gonna go back into the water now. So I just went into the ocean for like maybe under 5 minutes, but my feet feel great at the moment, so I'm just gonna keep doing this for the next like hour, and then probably head back, because like what that's literally, like I said, the only reason why I'm here. So yeah, it's crazy how fast time is going by as I'm getting older and stuff. I don't know, just time just going by so quickly. It's kind of surreal, and it kind of blows not having work, because I feel like I don't really have anything to show for it right now. Like traveling is great and everything, don't get me wrong. Like I feel so grateful and blessed to have had the experiences I've had this year. Like they've been amazing, to be honest with you. But I don't know, like financially, it's starting to weigh on me a little bit. And by weighing on me, I mean like just the time going by, and not always going to be able to have this freedom to just do whatever, which is okay. If I'm working, I acknowledge that when I'm working, even if it's like a 9 to 5 type job, if I'm in software engineering or something else, at least I'll have the money to show for my time. Just the time going by, I think, is what's like weighing on me the most. Okay, so something I wanted to talk a little bit more about is just my lack of discipline lately. Just like in general, for a long time now, I've been putting work into like this channel, into my photography skills through these trips, into like photography editing, video editing through my channel, and just baseline maintaining fitness when I'm not traveling. But overall, I really feel like I've lost my edge. Like when I was in school studying engineering, I had this fire to get through it, even though it was like miserable and I didn't enjoy the process at all, especially like towards the end of my master's degree. I just did not. It was brutal. It was brutal for me. Like it was a big toll on my mental health and everything. But like at the end of the day, it's just part of the process. You get through it, whatever. But since then, I haven't really had a similar or equivalent drive. I watch some kind of inspirational reel on Instagram or YouTube video, whether it be like self-improvement related or just travel related, and that'll inspire me for like a bit, but it's not enough to like really kick me in the tail to just do what I gotta do. And I'm not saying this to garner any kind of like sympathy or anything, like I'm just kind of taking ownership of how I've been. And like I said before, I had a conversation with Anton Daniels a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago now, and he was saying how it's important to just take ownership of your day every hour by hour, so that you can do what you gotta do and just you're not wasting any time. Today is a true exception to that, because like I said, I'm only at this beach to nurse my mauled legs because of the mosquitoes that got to me on Costa Rica. But aside from that, I do agree with that advice, and it's not advice that's new to me, but it's advice that I just haven't really implemented efficiently. So some of you might be here from Anton Daniels. Shout out to you guys if you are. I think part of this might be a form of self-sabotage. Part of it might just be not a clear confidence in the direction things are going right now, because not having a job means that my finances are kind of in limbo. I've said before, like I'm grateful I have the savings that I have, but I would just feel more confident having a steady income coming in. Even if I am working a traditional job, the content creation is supposed to be the long-term game, like a side hustle, creative outlet mainly, so that if I were to blow up in the future somehow, or at least, gain enough of an audience to monetize or something, I don't know, then it'll be more like long-term, maybe more like sustainable. But it's not making me any money right now. It's just something I'm enjoying the process of doing. In any case, it's crazy how in today's world there's like so many distractions, and that in general,
for me, I struggle a lot with social media. I enjoy the creative process of putting out on social media, stuff like that, you know, and video editing and whatever. But I'm also a big consumer of it, and that's something I really got to work on because I don't know, I just don't feel super grounded right now, which is probably okay because I'm fresh off of this trip where I was away for a full month. But in any case, it's super important. I gotta just start doing the work. All right, I think 2 hours is enough, so I'm gonna head out of here and get some food. It was good to get out here, get some sun, and just kind of contemplate life, I guess. But, you know, I don't really feel like I should be here for too long. Just enough to literally get my feet wet in the salt water, because I feel better now, admittedly.
All right, guys, so I'm on my way home now. I just grabbed a couple slices of pizza and now I'm on my way back. I'm sorry that there really isn't anything super entertaining or relevant to animals or anything in this video. I figured I just wanted to keep it real, right? Like, I figured I could salvage today by kind of vlogging a little bit while also keeping it real with you guys, because, you know, just to keep it real. Like, social media really glorifies a lot of things, but today is definitely nothing to really be glorified about, you know? So I'm just taking you guys along for the ride. Something I guess I wanted to clarify a little bit was when I was talking about religion earlier, what I was just thinking about is how people in the past that I've been like friends with, still am friends with, but haven't really talked to in a while. But like just people in general like have kind of like looked down on religion for being like cult-like and I don't know, stuff like that. And even though like I was born and raised a Greek Orthodox Christian, and even though I'm not really practicing anymore, and I know I've still been feeling called back to my roots, I guess. And I don't know. I think being religious is like a good thing. I think everyone should have their own relationship with God, or at least have a layer of spirituality if they don't really like Christianity. But in any case, I think it's really important, and I'm starting to really acknowledge that now that I'm getting older. It doesn't really matter the flavor as much as just doing it in general, because it really helps to keep you grounded. It helps to give you guidance. It helps to give you just a path forward and like morals and shit. I think it's an objectively a good thing to be raised Christian or, you know, religious. Not to like promote one over the other, you know. I think that they all have their place somewhere in the world. But yeah, guys, like I said, you know, I wanted to be kind of honorable today because I wouldn't say it was a completely down bad day, but like I feel like, well, that's the problem. I feel like, but I also wanted an outlet to just kind of talk about it in general. You know, I feel like I keep that phrase is the problem. I just gotta really regain my discipline and just in general. This video has been like all over the place. I've talked about, you know, my lack of discipline lately and being called back to my religion and a little bit about dating, but I don't really feel like adding that much more to this video in terms of topics. I think that's enough. But yeah, you know, social media is all about like, there's a lot of glamour and making things look better than they actually are on there. So I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys. There's really no value to be had in this video, you know. I'm literally just talking to you guys and documenting this for myself too, because, you know, I hope I look back on this in the future and feel good just because I'm better off than I am in this moment, or hopefully I'll be better off then than I am in this current moment. But in any case, it's just a part of the journey, right? You know? And those are the main things that are kind of eating at me a little bit today. I really gotta just get my shit together. I need to maintain a layer of discipline moving forward, because that's something that I haven't been doing whenever I'm home. You know, traveling is different. Traveling lights me up. Traveling kind of keeps you on some kind of a schedule, you know. I'm never traveling anywhere just to fuck off. I'm traveling somewhere to do something, and that requires a schedule, to get up early, to be places on time, to do things super early. Especially with the type of traveling that I was doing, you need to get up super early and then stay up super late to find the animals. It's just a part of it, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I love it, which is great because you know, in a way, it kind of keeps me grounded. But it's just not the same here, back home, and reality is kind of slaps me in the face every time I get back. Well, I say every time, but there's only been like 3 points this year, which I guess is a privilege, but still 3 points of contact this year where I've come back and faced normal life from the wanderlust, right? Like the travel. Like I got back from Thailand in January, laid off, got back from long-term travel in South America in April. Didn't really do much in May aside from looking for work and gymming it up. And then now, 2 days post Costa Rica, sleep schedule's fucked. Overslept today without trying to. But at least gotta give myself credit where it's due and not be super negative. I did apply to several jobs yesterday and interviewed, at least I think, fairly well with the 2 companies I interviewed with. So fingers crossed that one of those can actually pan out at some point, and fingers crossed that I'll get another job in general, like soon, because, you know, on one hand, and middle to late August, I will be MIA again. Not necessarily from YouTube, but just in general. I'm hoping that I'll just have a job by then, to be honest. Like, I kind of miss having a 9 to 5, which is kind of crazy because I guess distance makes the heart grow fonder. You know, you always want what you don't have. When you have a 9 to 5, you crave the freedom. And I have the freedom, but what's honestly matters more to me right now in this moment is the fact that I need to make money, and I just want to pay off all my debts. So that's going to require at least a couple years of just grinding it out, and along the way building up my businesses, my side projects, so that they'll become profitable. So I don't have a doubt in my mind that I'll get there. Like with the YouTube channel, with monetization through ad revenue, I'm not expecting anything grandiose, but at the very least, I can just build a following of people who resonate with me as a person. And, you know, I'm just documenting my journey here through life. So thank you if you've chosen to subscribe. It's kind of surreal, to be honest. Like I'm at the time of recording this, I'm coming up on 1,000 subscribers, which is something I just didn't expect at all going into this year. Like, I didn't expect to get that far with it, but hey, it'll be just part of my legacy, I guess, you know? Like, the more that I get out there and see wildlife and document the journey, it'll be really cool, because I know at least most of my audience are software engineering or just white collar professionals that maybe aren't as in touch with nature and stuff. And I think it'll be cool for me to be the person to kind of bridge that gap between people that live, you know, normal lives that don't get to see all these animals, but I get to go out there and do it. Because I'll never forget when I went to Bolivia back in 2022, and I told my my boss's boss, the director of software engineering at my last company, that I was going on that trip. He like looked at me like I had 3 heads, and he was just like, really? Like, isn't that dangerous? Isn't there like drugs and stuff circulating there or whatever? And I mean, to his credit, that is partially true, but at the same time, it's all about the adventure, and I was going there for wildlife purposes. So that's the kind of stuff I want to bring to you guys on this channel, along with, you know, videos like this every so often to fill the gap, because I can't be traveling, at least right now, 24/7. So yeah, guys, to sum everything up, I gotta get my shit together, and I have to really stay more disciplined, or I need to be disciplined in general, because I'm not, and I'm not holding myself to the higher standard that I should be doing, which is the bare minimum of what I should be doing every day. And then also not stress about dating as much, and just look for a genuine connection, which, you know, might sound straightforward, but like, there's been some moments where I've just dated to date, and without really having an expectation behind it, which is probably what would lead to something more serious, but I don't know. And then I would argue that religion is a good thing, yes, in general. And people will like to use the edge cases when they're arguing against it, specifically with Islam, and occasionally with Christianity, but they always allude to the Crusades. But I don't know, man. I'm just a dude that's ranting and trying to be a little vulnerable, I guess. So I'm sure you guys will have something to say. Something that I didn't really take into account when I was starting this YouTube channel is that some people will have something to say. But I'm sure you guys will have your own thoughts. Comment below, you know, if you feel any kind of a way about what I'm saying. Hope that you guys can relate to what I'm saying, or maybe at the very least have some thoughts on it, you know. Well, in any case, I hope you guys are having a good day. If you even made it this far into this video, I appreciate the fuck out of you. I've literally just been ranting. This has been kind of a vlog about, you know, me going to the beach, but the premise really isn't me going to the beach. It was just an excuse to make content, so I just took it and rolled with it to try to salvage today. So again, if you made it this far, I appreciate the fuck out of you. You're a real one. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for wanting to hear what I had to say. And I hope you're having a great day. I'll catch you in the next one.